Hello and welcome to the channel. I'm Dr. Laura Pipher. I'm a naturopathic doctor, and today we are doing the fiber breakdown, what to know about constipation, bloating, and supplements. So let's chat about fiber, what it does, why it's essential, and how you can deploy it to improve your digestion. Whether you're wondering which type of fiber is best for constipation, if fiber supplements are really helpful, or why fiber can cause bloating, you're in the right place. Let's get started. So, just understanding the importance of fiber, fiber is crucial for overall health and plays a major role in digestion. And the facts is that the majority of the population actually doesn't get enough fiber from their diet, and we can actually experience a lot of chronic health problems as a result. What makes fiber so special? So there's actually two types of fiber, soluble and insoluble. Both have unique benefits. So soluble dissolves in water, and its main clinical action is to help to control blood sugar and lower cholesterol. It's often found in foods like oats, beans, and fruits. Insoluble fiber adds bulk to your stool and helps food pass through the digestive tract a lot more easily. Think of foods like whole grains, nuts, and vegetables. Now, when we look at whole foods, the benefit of consuming a whole food diet is that when we are consuming fiber from that whole food diet, there is often a little bit of both fibers. So, when we're looking at fiber from a supplement perspective, oftentimes we are being a little bit more specific with what type of fiber we are choosing to purchase. But when we're eating food, you can usually be assured that you're having a mix of both in your fiber. So, for constipation, if that is an issue for you, insoluble fiber is probably your best friend because it doesn't dissolve in water. It adds bulk to your stool and helps food move through your intestines. Food like whole wheat bread, bran, fibrous vegetables are great sources, but you just have to make sure you drink plenty of water because when you start fiber, specifically something like psyllium, it can really cause gas, constipation, and bloating at first. The other thing is when we're taking fiber or when we're increasing fiber, a big concern or a big complaint I get from my patients is I've changed my diet. I'm now focused on whole foods. Why is my digestion worse? My digestion was actually better when I was eating more processed food and more fast food. And now that I've considered whole foods and I've got myself on a whole foods diet, things have actually worsened for me. Why is that? And the fact of the matter is that processed food is going to be more broken down and it's going to be a lot easier on the digestive system. And ultimately, your digestive system is going to get used to that. And it's going to, probably cause microbiome issues, but the foods themselves are not going to be fermented by certain bacteria. When we introduce fiber, fiber is a wonderful food for gut bugs. And when your gut bugs are consuming fiber, depending on the type of gut bugs that are in your system, oftentimes that can create a lot of bloating. So, in conditions like small intestinal bacterial overgrowth or SIBO, what happens is we have an overgrowth of bugs that shouldn't be there. And those bugs love to feed on specific types of fiber. So, what can happen is when you take a probiotic or when you take a fiber or when you start increasing fiber in your diet, your digestive system symptoms get worse. This is a great opportunity to talk to your healthcare provider about why that is and what you can do as next steps to help your digestive health. Because it's not always as simple. And in fact, it's most often not always as simple as, oh, just take a fiber supplement or, oh, just take a probiotic. Oftentimes, we have to layer in treatments because if there is a bad bug overgrowth, again, coming back to the root causes of constipation, bloating, diarrhea, digestive issues are often linked to microbiome imbalances. Now, if we're looking at the gut like a garden, most gardens have some weeds. So the goal is the first thing we do is we pull those weeds out. How do we do that from a digestive perspective? Is we're going to give things like antimicrobial herbs, things like oregano, things like garlic, right? These things will often kill off and target those bad bugs while sparing the good bugs. This is the benefit of antimicrobials over antibiotics. And while I do value antibiotics and they can be used in a variety of places and sources in order to get the job done and treat things that we that are more life-threatening and that we really cannot treat otherwise. The fact of the matter is that antibiotics wipe out the entire microbiome. When we're looking at herbs, they will often target things that shouldn't be there and leave the things that can be there. And that is the benefit. Then after that, after we've removed, then we want to work on replacing. So oftentimes understanding what got you there in the first place, I like to look at, again, that analogy of the gut like a garden. We're looking at the barriers of the garden. So if you were making a garden and you just planted your vegetables, you probably put up a fence, right? You'd put up a fence and you might put like a mesh over top so that the rabbits don't get in and eat your vegetables that you've worked so hard to grow, right? And so that mesh and that fence, think of that in your digestive system as your stomach acid levels and your immune system. Your stomach acid is going to keep the things out by killing them. If you get a bug in your system that shouldn't be there, the stomach acid will get rid of it. But if you don't have enough stomach acid, if your immune system is not on guard to get rid of these things, then those bad bugs will come and take up residence. And when we talk about the gut like a garden and we talk about the ecosystem, there are certain bugs that like to live with others. And so when we're looking back to the root cause, fiber is really important, but we need to make sure that we're actually treating the gut concern. And then our long-term strategy is making sure that we have a healthy, balanced diet. Because what got you there in the first place has probably a lot to do with your diet, your stress levels, your sleep, hormonal challenges, and that gets you to a certain point. So oftentimes fiber is not the fix all, right? It's not the end all be all, but what it is going to do is it's going to be super supportive to help you get that long-term strategy, because long-term, what we're doing is we want to take fiber so we can break down fiber into short chain fatty acids. Short chain fatty acids have a ton of great benefits for our overall health, our immune system health, etc. And so, coming back to those pieces, if fiber causes you trouble, then it's time to look a little bit deeper. Fiber supplements like psyllium can be helpful, specifically if you're not getting enough fiber from your diet. Again, whole foods are more than just fiber, though. They offer essential nutrients, they offer antioxidants, phytonutrients that supplements will lack. But if you're using supplements, you want to make sure you're complementing them with a healthy diet. Now, specifically, I find with an insoluble fiber, one that doesn't dissolve, my patient's compliance is very low. Why? Because it's gross. Unless they can put it into a yogurt or a smoothie, they tend to just be grossed out by it because you end up with this chunky slush that you have to eat or drink. But you're basically eating it because at that point, it is no longer a liquid. And so oftentimes, I will do a soluble fiber because a lot of my patients struggle with things like insulin resistance and cravings and blood sugar imbalances. And so when we're also dealing with those things, again, we have to look at this whole picture of patient health and what the biggest priorities are in your health, right? If the priority is that we have to get you pooping, we need to understand all the other things are going on. If you also have insulin resistance, potentially from a compliance perspective and a health outcome perspective, we actually might use a soluble fiber. So these are a lot of things that we have to consider. And so again, coming back to why fiber can cause bloating, many people experience bloating when they increase their fiber intake, specifically at first, because if your body's used to a lot of processed foods, adding those in is going to feel like a shocker. Now, usually fiber will be fermented by gut bugs, and again, we can create gas as a byproduct. So adding it gradually, staying hydrated, and experimenting with different types of fiber can be very helpful if you're new to the fiber game. So that is the breakdown of fiber and how it affects your digestion, whether you're using it to relieve constipation, prevent bloating, or improve overall gut health. Just remember, including a variety of fiber-rich foods and hydrating properly is really at the core. If you're still curious about fiber, check out the blog post linked to this video, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos on women's health.